Okay, today I would like to talk about the compassion of Christ. I would like to start off in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 27. And God said, "Let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish in sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." A guy named the Bishop of Lyons, Irenaeus, in the 2nd century started preaching on this passage, and he came up with a concept in Latin called imago Dei. Imago in Latin means the image of, and Dei is God. And he said, based on that passage, that we can rest in the fact that every single one of us, regardless of gender, ethnicity, socioeconomic background, that every single human being was breathed in the image of God. That means that all of us are inherently valuable. All of us are precious, and we are inherently divine because we are imago Dei. We are made in God's image, but because of the fall, all of us are also a hot mess. In John chapter 21, Jesus asked Simon Peter, "Do you agapeo me? Do you love me more than anything?" And Simon Peter says, "Yes, Lord, you know I phileo you. I love you like a brother. I love you kind of, but not sacrificially." The second time Jesus asked Simon Peter, son of John, "Do you agapeo me? Do you love me sacrificially?" And Simon Peter is saying, "Lord, you know me. You know I just threw you under the bus. You know I betrayed you. You know I don't have it all together. Or my capacity is not much, Jesus." And the third time, Simon Peter asked, "Do you phileo me?" This wasn't about Peter's capacity. It was about the compassion of Christ, that he lowered the standard of love for us. In Mark, we don't really have much time to get into that story, but in Mark 14:52, it says, a young man got so thrown by all of the Roman soldiers because he's so afraid he's going to get caught. He drops his cloak and runs away. So Mark didn't just betray the Christ, he betrayed him naked. And we all know that Peter betrayed him. And our God, when he says, "Who am I going to choose to write the very first gospel?" He doesn't say, "I'm going to choose a guy who has never struggled," or I'm going to choose guys who are the best. He says, "I am going to choose 2 guys who have absolutely blown it, because I want to make it clear to the world that no matter how many mistakes that you make, that you cannot catapult yourself out of the realm of my compassion." I use the weak and I use the foolish. So in this verse, it's not about our capacity, it's about Christ's compassion for us. And I don't really have time to go into any of the other stories about Christ's compassion, but I'm glad I got to share this with you today.